What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Real Housewives of Potomac, you guys. We're back with the girls for Potomac, you guys. I'm excited to see these girls back. I'm excited to see what this season is going to give us. So going into this season, everybody has a clean slate going forward right now. For now. But y'all know these nicknames, they're still going to be around. Hey Arnold Stewie, we're gonna add something to her name. It's Hey Arnold Stewie, Oompa Loompa, Saturn's Rings, Boy Robin, and now The Mask, which is Mia. So the nicknames are gonna stay, but the girls have a fresh start. One girl right now, she's on my ish list because of her storyline, and just because of her. But we'll get into it as we get into it. So, before we go ahead and just get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and aren't subscribed, you guys, then I need you guys to do me a huge solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video. Give me that big, huge thumbs up, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, and once again, give me a big, huge thumbs up. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, shall we? Alright, you guys, so I forgot to tell you guys, this is Real Housewives of Potomac. This is Season 7, Episode 1. The episode is titled Spring Awakening. So let's start up with Saturn's Rings, aka Giselle. So we see Saturn's Rings, so she set up a picnic with her, the Grand Dame, Karen, of course, Hey Arnold Stewie, and Boy Robin shows up, right? Now, before Boy Robin, nope, actually, first three were there. Actually, the first two were Saturn's Rings and, Karen. So then Boy Robin joined them. So when Boy Robin joined them, they started talking about Hey Arnold Stewie, Oompa Loompa, and The Hobbit, right? You guys know that Hey Arnold Stewie is supposed to be divorcing The Hobbit. Now, after this first episode, I'm like, girl, what kind of divorce is this? Even she was on Watch What Happens Live with Dr. Heavenly, and she even talked about it there, where she has her days where she's like she wants to be with the Hobbit, but then she has her days where she doesn't want to be with the Hobbit. Girl, I don't care. So they talked about her TikTok. I had to see her no dancing ass again. That was the one thing about this with her after season 6 ended. Like, girl, she after season 6 ended and her and him splitting up, baby, Hey Arnold Stewie, Oompa Loompa has been all over TikTok. But you know what? I ain't gonna even hate on her because she looks good. I'll give her that. She does look good, besides that big ass forehead and that long ass chin. So she joined them, right? So Karen says that, things between she and Ray, they're good. So then they talked about The Mask, aka Mia. So you guys remember some months ago, Mia went on Instagram, right, and put up this whole long paragraph about how she got a call from her doctors, and her doctor told her to get over to Johns Hopkins. And you guys know Johns Hopkins, pretty much, that's when you go to Johns Hopkins, it's serious, right? And she said something about cancer. So, everybody assumed that Mia had cancer. I mean, because the way she was talking in that Instagram post, you would thought that it was bad. But then the ladies were talking about how she went back and edited it. I didn't know that she had edited the post. So they believe that she's doing this for attention. And I was like, oh, I'm like, now when they said this, I'm like, I don't know who in their right mind would want to make up something like this for attention. But as the episode progressed, I was like, you know what? I kind of see what they're saying at this point, right? So back over to Hey Arnold Stewie, you guys. So Hey Arnold Stewie, she's talking about the fact that, so in Virginia, in order to get a divorce, you have to be separated for 6 months, right? Nope, not 6 months. You have to be separated for a year. But on Watch What Happens Live, she says she's at the 6 month point, so she got another 6 months to go. So they asked her, how did you guys come to this? So Hey Arnold Stewie says that she's no longer drinking. I'm like, oh, okay. And then she was talking about they went somewhere and there was a woman that was interested in her. I guess, the Hobbit liked the woman. She didn't want to have sex with the woman and the Hobbit. So she's not the same Hey Arnold Stewie that he married. The free, the free one that wanted to have threesomes with him. I don't care, right? But Hey Arnold Stewie then goes one step forward and says that they're looking for a house together and that they're going to buy it in the name of their LLC. Everybody was like, wait, what? That ain't no divorce. Now, Boy Robin had something to say about, she wouldn't buy a house with her ex. I was like, ma'am, didn't you and Juan get a divorce and still live together? Now, granted, you guys have financial issues, but you two lived together, slept in the same bed, and still had sex with each other. So let's not sit here and judge Hey Arnold Stewie. She ain't my favorite person, but yeah. So at the end of it, Karen lets the ladies know that she's going to be having a spring fling event, and she wants all the ladies to show up. And I remember seeing this on Instagram. I remember seeing this. I think this was like their first casting. Well, actually, it is. This was the first all cast event because I remember, I remember seeing this on Instagram or Twitter. I think it was Instagram, like Peach Report, because Katie was there. Escala was there. Who else? Who else have we had that's been a friend of this show? Katie, Escala, I believe Charisse was there. I'm not positive, but I believe Charisse was there. God, why is Charisse back? Oh God, you guys know I can't stand Charisse. But suffice to say, it was everyone. I think everybody who's been involved with the Real Housewives of Potomac, with the exception of Monique Samuels, was there. So yeah. So we see Saturn's Ring's house. So she's finally finished it. I will say one nice thing about that house before I shade it. I think she got rid of them. I know for a fact she got rid of them. That terrible, ugly magenta looking color that was on her wall. She has gotten rid of that. The inside of her house, it looks better. It looked like she went and got an interior decorated. I was like, you know what, Saturn's rings, you look better. But these wigs and these outfits, girl, what? Especially that wig in that confessional that looks like a skunk. I was like, girl, what is this? But then that wig when she met with Karen and them, I was like, what is this wig? It's just affixed on top of her head, and it just looks horrible. It's just like, oh my God, after 7 years, this woman still has not. And Cal does do her hair. Like, I wonder why Cal, is Cal still going through beautician school or what? Like, cause sir, the wigs, they never look good. They look humped up, and that's not a good look. But hey, it is what it is. But the house looks nice. Now that West Wing is still an eyesore. The West Wing, it looks out of place. It doesn't even fit with that house. That West Wing, she should have tore that West Wing down, and maybe, oh God, I don't know what she could have did to that West Wing. But that West Wing is a hell to the no. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. All right, you guys. So Candace is back this season, and so let me talk about Candace real quick, because I'm jumping ahead of myself about 1 week, but I want to talk about, because I think it was either OMFG Reality or the Peach Report, one of those two put out a clip from next week's episode, and next week's episode is going to be a talking point for a lot of people, because it's already a big talking point. So you guys know in the trailer that Hey Arnold Stewie told Boy Robin that at 2 o'clock in the morning, Chris jumped into her DMs, right? So we finally, in next week's episode, we're going to get a little bit of context about it. But so far, everybody is attacking Chris and Candace. And I don't get why. I defended Chris and Candace. So I'm going to tell you guys what the situation is, but we'll talk about it deeper next week. So you guys know how when you get on Instagram and you get on your Instagram stories and you post something, and you guys know how if you like the post, even if you like the post, it's going to go to your DMs. It's not going to be public. It's your DMs. So if you like the post, if you laugh at the post, it's in the DM. So Ashley and somebody was at a bar, and Chris said, "Why not? You should have come to the W." That's it. He works at the. Actually, let's talk about that. He works at the W. So we see Candace and Chris. So Candace is in the process of freezing her eggs. So they're going, which I have remembered seeing this earlier this season, not season, but earlier in the year, that they were going through the process of IVF. So I wish them nothing but the best of luck with the IVF process. So now they have a little bit of an issue because of scheduling. So Chris is the general manager at I guess like a bar or rooftop, a bar at the W Hotel. So his hours fluctuate, and Candace wants to make sure that he'll be able to come. And they got into when they got into an argument in front of the doctor. I was like, ooh, this ain't a good look. I was just sitting there like, this is kind of cringy. And then what tripped me out is when they were in the car and they were still arguing, and Chris cussed, and Candace said, "Don't cuss at me." But then she turned around and cussed at Chris. I was like, Candace, hello, pot, meet kettle, because you just told Chris don't cuss at you, but then you cussed at Chris. And you guys know I love Candace, and you guys know I like Candace, and you guys know I like Chris. So I'm going to defend them, but I also at the same time, you guys know when it comes to me, just because I like somebody doesn't mean that I can't call them out when I need to call them out. Call Candace out, because Candace, that was dead ass wrong. You told Chris to stop cussing at you, but you then in turn cussed Chris out. Why? But let's pause here, you guys. That's really all we have for Candace and Chris. Let's pause here. One thing I want to say about Candace. Now that confessional with the green outfit on, she was so cute. That confessional with them faux locks, I was just thrown off by the eyeshadow. It was just the eyeshadow that was throwing me off. What was that? That eyeshadow was really throwing me off. I just didn't catch. I didn't like that eyeshadow. I didn't particularly care for the top that she had on either. Same with Boy Robin with that green, whatever that shit is, that green thing that goes up here with the ruffles and the hair. Now my best friend, she loved it. Speaking of which, you guys, I know I told you guys my best friend is going to be joining me. I am going to be getting her on here, but she didn't watch the episode when I watched it last night, so that's why I'm going to text her to ask her when does she watch the episode, so that way we can discuss it together. But yeah, let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Boy Robin. Oh my God. Phil, if you're watching this, because I know how you feel about Robin, and I know how you feel about Charisse. No. I can take one or the other. And preferably, I can take Boy Robin over Charisse. So, Boy Robin is going out to lunch, and Boy Robin is meeting up with none other than Charisse Jackson Jordan, or whatever she goes by these days. Charisse from season 1 and 2, and friend of the Housewives in season 3, and irritants in the last 2 seasons, because she's been around. Like, if you guys don't realize, I know we don't like Charisse, but Charisse has been around. Like, we don't see Charisse as much, but Charisse has been to a lot of events. Charisse was at a few events in season 5, and I know she was at some. I think she was at some events last season. I'm not positive, but I know for a fact Charisse was at season 3. She was a friend of. I know season 4 she was at some stuff, and I know for a fact season 5 she was, because that's why Monique. That's who Monique kept ducking and dodging. Charisse has been around since. She's like a fly that you just can't kill. She's like that fly that when you want to, you just pop. You want to slap it with a fly swatter, and it gets away from you. That is Charisse. God, why is this woman back? Okay, so we found out some information about Charisse that I didn't absolutely need to know. So I guess Charisse is divorced. I don't know. I don't keep up with Charisse. You know what the crazy thing about Charisse is? You would think that I would like Charisse, because Charisse and I literally have the same exact birthday. Like, we are born on the same day, July 16th. You would think I would like Charisse, but I don't. You would think that I would like all the cancers in the Real Housewives franchise, but I don't at this point. Like, it's so crazy when I think about the cancers of the cancers that are in the Housewives fandom, not the fandom, but the Housewives franchise. A good chunk of them I don't like. Rena is a Cancer. Rena's a Cancer. Y'all know I'm off and on with Rena. Erica's a Cancer. I used to like Erica, but I don't like Erica anymore. Dorit is a Cancer. I've never liked Dorit. Charisse is a Cancer. Never liked Charisse. I think the only Cancer that I can say that I like is Portia. And that's a slight, I still love Portia, but I love Portia from a distance. Jesus, but Charisse, she and I literally share the same damn birthday. That's crazy. So we find out that Charisse had two and a half boyfriends. One was a boyfriend, but I guess one was just a little friend that she had sex with, right? So she asked Boy Robin, have she and Juan set a wedding date? Boy Robin says no. I'm like, girl, if you stretch this shit out any longer, Boy Robin has lasted the longest with no storyline or a repeated storyline. I know you guys might say, well, Saturn's rings is the same way. Yes, she is. But at the same time, she brings a lot of mess and drama to the show. But Boy Robin, what does she bring? Exactly nothing. So, yeah, they don't have a wedding date set. I was like, okay, girl, I don't really care. And they don't have any plans. Don't care. So then she wants to, Boy Robin tells Charisse that she wants a prenup and that she doesn't want to give Juan half of her earnings. I was like, you know what? I don't really see much wrong with that. I wouldn't want to give up half of my earnings either. Just saying. Um. So then they start talking about, Hey Arnold, Stewie, and the Hobbit and the Troll. I don't care. Now I was looking at Charisse real hard, you guys, because it was her forehead and her forehead to her eyebrows. It wasn't moving. And I was like, did she get some surgery or did she get some Botox or fillers in her face? Like, because I couldn't put my finger on it because she looks different. She looks a little bit different. But that's all I got for Boy Robin. Let's pause here and let's go ahead and move forward. All right, you guys, let's talk about the mask real quick. Mia. So Mia's back for a second, her sophomore season. Don't know why. So we find out that Mia and Gordon have moved into a new house and they live down the street from Karen. I was like, oh, so I live in the same neighborhood as Karen and Monique. Okay, cool, don't care. Now, let's talk about what she's been doing on social media lately. So y'all know last week, I believe it was, that Mia, told everyone on social media and told people that, she and G have been ousted from their company. I was like, oh, okay. Girl, who cares? Really and truly, to be honest with you, who cares? But, she said that, and I say who cares because of what she's like. For somebody who needs to be worried about their company, you had a lot of time yesterday. You had a lot of time, or well, I don't know when this was, but I don't know when this shit came out. I just noticed it, a few hours before the episode aired. I don't know if it came out. I don't know if it came out like right before the episode, hours before the episode aired, or if it came out on set. I don't know when Mia posted all this stuff, but Mia posted a video of new friend of the Housewives, Jacqueline, who is quote unquote her best friend, and Mia is sitting here talking about the fact that Bravo needs to take a stand and not have this woman on there who is a domestic, who's committed, abuse against a significant other. But then Mia went one step forward and she's basically calling, like, to me, it seemed like she was calling that woman a hoe because she was talking about, she ain't never been married and stuff like this. And this show's about real housewives. That's why she's a friend of and all this kind of stuff. But Jacqueline clapped back at her and said, I learned from the best or something like that. I was like, ooh, come on, Jacqueline, I already like you. You coming at the mask. And then Candace chimed in. I don't remember what Candace said. I remember what Wendy said. Wendy's like, that's funny because you came at me, you threw a drink at me, you hit at me with your purse 3 times and broke 3, you hit at me with your purse and broke 3 nails. And then she's gonna be like, yeah, I did do that and I'm not that proud of that, but I'm learning from it. So you're on top of being a liar, you're a hypocrite, huh? You're a liar and a hypocrite? girl, that's not a good look. Like you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Mia's, but because Mia lies. That's my thing with Mia. Mia is a pathological liar. So Mia was talking to her mama about whatever this health scare is. And even with her mother, she was pretty vague. And I was like, so now she said they did a biopsy, so you don't necessarily know that you have cancer. Like a doctor, like you guys know, I have family members who had cancer. My grandmother had cancer. My grandfather had cancer. My uncle had cancer. They're not going to sit there on the phone and call you and tell you that you have cancer. They're going to call you in because like I said, I've been through this, especially with my grandmother. They call you, you go to your doctor. They call you, even with my mom. I went through this with my mom when they were trying to see if she had cancer, which she didn't. But what they'll do is they'll call you in. They'll do a biopsy on you. They'll look at that biopsy. Once they get the results for that biopsy, they call you back in and give you the results. Nobody calls you over the phone and tells you you have cancer or you need to get the Johns. Well, they may say, and what they may say to you is they'll call you, they'll look at your results and they say you may have some abnormalities or whatever, and we need you to go to this specialist. What happened? That's exactly what happened with my grandmother. Her doctor looked at her results and he sent her to the cancer center. He says we don't know what it is, but we just want to send you over here just so that we can get the biopsy and see what's going on. And that's exactly what happened. We went to the cancer center. They did the biopsy and they let her know in the office that she had cancer. Like, it was never anything like they called my grandmother on the phone. That's the one thing that a doctor's not going to do. They're not going to call you on the phone and upset you. They're going to bring you into their office and sit down with you, have your family, have somebody close to you right there beside you so that you have the support. So Karen and Ray came over and we found out that Karen got a breast lift. Karen be doing a lot to her titties, but they look good. I ain't hating on that, right? So Karen and her talk about the social media, and she says that Jacqueline told her to, be honest. But you weren't honest, Mia, because you then went in and you edited the post. So what the hell are you talking about? Like, Mia just be full of shit. But let's pause here, you guys, and wrap up with Mia. All right, you guys, so next up, let's talk about Wendy. So we see Wendy, and Wendy is going down to Bar 1 to meet up with Patricia Thomas. I was like, girl, why are you meeting with Patricia? So we find out why she's meeting with Patricia. So Patricia is going to be helping her with a restaurant that she wants to open. I was like, say, what now? You getting advice from Peter Thomas. The same Peter Thomas who was married to Cynthia Bailey. The same Peter Thomas who has had issues with every damn restaurant he's opened since we've known him. Yeah, girl. Ain't no way. Baby, the only advice Peter could give me in this particular moment is how to file for bankruptcy. That would be it. I wouldn't take any kind of business advice from Peter. No shade. I think he might be, good to open a business, but as far as viability from a business with Peter, I don't think I'm gonna trust him with that one, because I don't even know what businesses of Peter's are still open. Like, is Bar 1 in Charlotte still open? North Carolina, like, what business? Like, I know he got the Bar 1 down there, and it looked like it's successful because we saw the the Love and Marriage DC cast there, right? So it looks like it's successful, but how many businesses has Peter opened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty positive the Bar 1 in Atlanta is closed, right? I'm pretty positive that one's closed. Like, Peter could have franchised that. Peter could have franchised Bar 1 and Sports 1. But yeah, I don't want to take no kind of business advice from Peter. But then when Eddie is not on board with Wendy. Now, when Wendy sat there and was talking about the fact that she wanted to have a library and a lounge, I was like, say what now? A lounge and a library? No, 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 no. That ain't gonna work. Not gonna work. But hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna wish Wendy nothing but the. I know her book just came out, so congratulations to Wendy on that one. Her book just recently came out. Let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. All right, you guys. So we got Hey Arnold Stewie. So she is visiting her uncle Lump Lump, her mom, and was it her aunt or her cousin? Somebody. So we're talking about her and the Hobbit once again, and it's funny listening to her talk about this situation, right? So she's still talking about the fact that I get what she's doing. She wants a house. So she's gonna, I guess she's using this to her advantage, but she doesn't have a lawyer. She doesn't know what she won't say how much Michael is worth. I don't care how much the Hobbit is worth. Y'all know how I feel about him. So we see Sheila there. That wig on Sheila's head. What was that? It was ugly. So, like I said, she doesn't have a lawyer. She knows she's gonna get a lump sum. But girl, a lump sum. Like, do you know the particulars of what you're gonna get? Now, I know you'll get child support from him, but a lump sum. How much is that lump sum for? I find myself not really giving a damn. But Sheila's talking a lot because Sheila don't want to be back up under that freeway with that tent. That's what Sheila's contention is. Sheila's raggedy ass don't want to be back under that bridge with that tent again. But Uncle Lump told Hey Arnold Stewart that she needs to get a lawyer, and I agree with Uncle Lump. Girl, get a lawyer. Let the lawyers help you out in this situation. But I don't even believe that she really wants to get divorced from the man. I don't know why, but just something in my spirit says, Hey Arnold Stewart does not want a divorce. But you guys let me know what you guys thought about that. I just don't really care to talk about her that much because honestly, I wasn't listening. I just wasn't listening to her like that. But hey, let's pause here and let's wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys, let's talk about Karen. So Karen is having her little spring event with everybody. Karen is 59 years old. Okay, Grand Dame, you look good, girl. You're looking good. So we see everybody shows up. Just remember, I told you that we had a lot of the past cast members. We had Katie there. We had Escala there. Why did they not bring Escala back for a second season as a full-time housewife? I really would have preferred y'all to give Escala Mia's flute. Like, y'all could have given her Mia's flute, for real. But hey, they didn't bring her back. So we meet Jacqueline. So Karen and Saturn's Rings, they're once again talking about Ashley and how they don't believe she wants to get a divorce. They believe all she wants is just to have a house, which I absolutely agree with. Ashley is playing the game. She is trying to use what she got to get what she wants. One of them Ho Ronnie quotes. So she shows up, right? And she tells Karen and Saturn's Rings that she found a house and that they put an offer down. And both Karen and Saturn's Rings tell her, don't put Michael's name on that house. And honestly, I agree, girl. Don't put that man's name on that house. Don't put his name on that house. So then we know Candace shows up. Candace and Chris, they show up. They look nice. And when Candace showed up, that's when Saturn's Rings and, Karen informed her of what's going on between, Hey Arnold Stewie and the Hobbit, right? So now you guys know how I feel about Saturn's Rings. I don't like the woman like that, but when when Wendy showed up, baby, Wendy was like, let me go speak to Saturn's Rings. And she went up to her, she said, no touching, no hugging. I'm good, we're good. I kind of felt that, you guys, because as much as I don't like the woman, like, if me and you have been going back and forth with each other, like, yeah, ma'am, we ain't good right now. You ain't got to speak to me. You can say hi. Which I ain't going to be rude like that and say, I'm like, you don't have to touch me, but how are you? I would have spoke to her, but I'm going to keep it with you guys. I did not blame her. I didn't. But then I said to myself though, I was like, but she's still salty about the fact that Wendy went so hard at her last season. Like, you can dish it, but you cannot take it. Like, I was cracking up. It was hilarious to me, you guys. So, so then when the mask came in, now Saturn's rings, girl, why did you say, is this what Cancer looks like? I was like, that was a little insensitive and rude. But Mia got in her feelings and, told Giselle, fuck you, basically, because of because Giselle told her that she felt like she did that for attention, and Mia said she doesn't need attention. I was like, I beg to differ. I beg to differ, man, because that post just screams, look at me. And I don't know why she would do like that. Cancer's just not something to play with. If you, that is not something to play with. Like, I just didn't understand that. It just, for me, for someone who has dealt with cancer in his family, I wasn't receptive to. I didn't like it. It just was insensitive. If you don't have cancer, that's one thing, right? And if you do have cancer, that's another thing. I would have had a little bit of respect for Mia if she just came out and said, I got a phone call from my doctor. My doctor said that I need to go, have a biopsy done because they see something and they believe it might be cancer, but they're not positive, and they just want to run some tests to see if it is positive, if it's cancer. And I just want you guys to keep me lifted in prayer. That's the easiest thing to say instead of that long ass paragraph she wrote. Girl, go to hell. But that's it, you guys. That was the first episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7, you guys. We are back with the girls of Potomac, and I am looking forward to this season. I'm excited. I hope, the stands are cool this season, because that's the one thing about Potomac Potomac and Atlanta. Atlanta last season was good because it was just now the season itself wasn't the best, but for review purposes, it was actually a decent season. But hey, you guys, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Be sure to like this video, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.